Adam Bursik, also known as Eddy, a Slovak bartender and beverage professional based Singapore, where he leads the bar program of Origin Bar in Shangri-La Hotel, right?
That's correct.
His work is built around the strong concept, storytelling, and creating a full experience that goes beyond the cocktail itself. Eddy, welcome on VisitChefTV.
Thank you for having me.
Asia is often called the holy grail of bartending. How much of that is real quality and how much is discipline, fear of failure, and pressure?
Wow, tough one.
The first one, tough one.
yeah. Starting with the worst one. I don't know, I think it's hard to say, like, when I came to Singapore 12 years ago, compared to what it is now, it's two different cities when it comes to the bars and cultures and so on and so on and so on. I was just doing also one interview actually with a friend of mine, and we open online questions and people just throw it at me and I had to answer without knowing what are the questions.
I saw it was in Instagram profile, right?
And there was very similar question to this when someone asked me, so how I feel about white privilege in Singapore, and that's, I think, is quite connected here. 12 years ago, Singapore didn't have many, let's call it, professionals in the beverage industry there, right? It was very young industry for Singapore. So they were kind of forced to reach out or outsource the talent from overseas, right? So then plenty of guys came there, helped to open up the bars, set up companies and whatnot. But that definitely changed, right? Now, if you look at Singapore, you have so many local heroes and amazing bartenders and bar owners. And I don't think it's anymore about fear of failure or something. It's just that country just keep pushing. And, I think now, a few years ago, people have been looking up to Singapore as the place, right? But now if you look at surrounding, like in Asia, other cities, the capital cities like Bangkok, Hong Kong, Seoul and whatnot, I mean, those cities are also like, the industry is so high, right? So I don't think there is anymore anything driven by fear of failure. It's just pushing the industry as far as we can. So, yeah.
In Europe, we talk a lot about the creativity. In Asia, it's more about the consistency. Which one really matters and more to the guest, and which one do the bartenders lie to themselves about?
So I'm not sure if you're going to cut this, but cocktails and cocktail menus for bartenders are essentially doing this, right? That's where we jerk off our egos. That's what we love to do. But end of the day, the guests coming for the vibe of the place and for the bartenders and the hospitality. Drinks are the least important thing when it comes to bar, in my opinion.
Sure.
If it's true or not for other bars, I don't know. I don't care. We all do our own thing, But guests don't come for your cocktails, That's secondary, maybe even, end on their list, It's good to have great drinks, but isn't it easy to make good cocktails? I think it's quite easy, right? Everyone can make good cocktails, Follow any classic recipe, right?
Yeah.
Great drink. Anyone can follow a recipe. So, I don't know. I think it's all about the bars, the bartenders, the vibe, the place, the feel.
So experiences.
Experience-driven industry, I believe, rather than cocktails or just a beverage.
How much professionality can a bartender have in top Asia bar before it becomes a problem for the system?
Oh, I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, you see bars having bar owners or bartenders, head bartenders with very little skills, yet running very successful bar. Then you have overqualified, almost head bartenders and bar owners of the bars. But, and again, it goes back to the personalities, I mean, knowing a lot or know enough might not be what drives, what's going to happen to the bar.
Yeah.
It's really about the personality rather than, if they're that professional or not.
Okay, so have you ever seen extreme focus on perfect service kill the authenticity of team or a bar itself?
I don't want to mention the bars, right? But I do have, like, also in Singapore, there is one bar which I love to go, and I think is possibly the best service I ever had in any bar around the world. Yet, possibly one of the, and don't get me wrong, worst hospitality, right? But the service is impeccable. Like, you get a snack, you touch the snack, someone refill the snack for you once you have it. And like, it's constantly throughout the evening, like the attention to detail is just insane, right? But the hospitality is very different. The style or the culture which shaped this particular bar doesn't focus on hospitality itself, you know, but focusing on the service, and it's just incredible. So, and again, service, hospitality, cocktails, whatnot, every bar will be, you know, successful in one way or another, and something else will drive their success.
Yeah. And have you, people say Asia grinds people down. Is burnout in top bars a bigger problem that in industry admits?
Yes, I think so. You know, it is not easy though. I think when I was back in Slovakia working here, I had better work-life balance, let's call it, you know, because we used to work those long and short weeks, right? You work 2 days, 3 days off, then 3 days work, 2 days off, 2 days, and so on and so on. In Singapore, you have to work 5 days, you know, not always necessary you go full 5 days, then 2 days off, but sometimes you work 5 days, 1 day off, then you go for 2 days to work, then 1 day off, and so on and so on. I think it's way more intense, depending on the level you're working at and the bar where you're working at. In the hotels and hotel bars, that's a known fact that if you're on any managing position, your basic is 12 hours. Is a lot? Yes, it is. It is doable. It is. Long term, let's see.
Yeah. The world's 50 best bars is presented as a celebration of quality. How many bars are there mainly because they knew how to play the game?
Wow. You're putting me in a pickle here. But to be honest, you know, I think 50 Best is possibly one of the best marketing tool
of course
any bar can have.
Yeah.
And be part of the list is being part of this, you know, group of amazing people, you know, in it. But it doesn't mean then whoever is beyond the top 100 in the list, they are bad or lower quality than those which are in the first 50 or the 100, right? It's a lot of marketing. You know, it's a lot of your communications, your skills, your hospitality, your service, and so on and so on. Not necessarily quality, right? I mean, for 50 Best, there is not a one rule which would say you have to vote for a bar which you think has the best quality service or drinks or whatnot, right? It is not a part of the whole voting system. There are not set rules. It is based on people's professional opinion if they really think those bars which they vote for deserve to be in the list. But imagine someone asks you, vote for your 7 bars. You know, you would have also like 50 bars in your head, right?
Of course.
You have to pick 7. Doesn't mean the rest is lower quality than the 7 you just picked.
Easy.
So talking about quality there, I don't think it's something what really shapes the list, you know.
Is it even possible today to get into 50 Best without PR, guest shift, and networking just based on the bar itself?
I don't know. Wow, you're going nice and deep, you know, you're cutting through. I'm just trying to think if there is any bar within Asia or the world generally I've seen which didn't really spend much time on doing any of those things and got on the list. But I mean, essentially, sure, there will be bars which not necessarily do many guest shifts, yet they got there, you know, because you have good location, you're in a great city, which brings so many foreign travelers and voters in that sense also.
And build a magic
to
place.
Other bars and everyone, you know, the bartenders from one bar which is focusing on PR and guest shift and so on say, hey, if you're here, you need to go visit this bar, right? That bar not necessarily doing everything for being on the list, but by this chance or like being, you know, great human being that the other bars will support you, you get the support that without you having the money for your PR, for your guest shifts and so on, for smaller bars, all these friends within the industry, they just support you. They say, you need to see the bar. And you go there and then you see like, this is great. I'm going to vote for it. They will get it. I'm sure there is more bars than, in my head in the list compared to what I have in my head who got there because of this reason. I just can't think of the name of one bar which I would say.
Have you ever seen a bar that was objectively great but never made this list simply because it wasn't visible enough?
100. Really like,
yeah.
Let's be honest, even like just from Singapore, we have easily about 40 incredible bars. Easily, maybe even more than 40. And currently, I think on the Asia 50 best or the extended 200 from Singapore was only about 7 or 8 out of these bars, something like that. Doesn't mean the rest doesn't deserve it. It just didn't work out for some of those bars, and the game is difficult, It's very, very difficult. Yeah. We've been on the list in the 50, then we dropped to the 50, 100, and so on and so on. Doesn't mean that we do less or, like we change something, I think we are very consistent in what we're doing in our bar. But it's just there's so many new bars opening and the hype of new bars. Hotel bar cannot really compare to, it's still a hotel bar, So unfortunately, some people thinking is that, hotel bar has money, which is not the case. Like, sure, they have money. It's a bigger company than a small bar, but doesn't necessarily means that they can grab some funds and say, okay, here you go, Adam. Take this money, make sure we get into 50. That doesn't work that way. It will never work that way. I don't think in any hotel bar. So,
the voting is said to be anonymous.
Yeah.
How anonymous it's really when everyone in the bar in the world knows each other?
I mean, if you're a voter, you should not be sharing with anyone that you are the voter, right? I mean, that's what the job of the chairs of 50 Best, the regions and so on. Their job is to identify voters within the region, which is well balanced between male, female, and all these things. But also to choose the right people who travel enough, who understand what is a good and not that good bar maybe, and people who are professional enough that they wouldn't first thing jump on the phone. It's like, hey, I'm a voter. Are you also a voter? Yes, let's exchange the votes. I hope it's not happening, or maybe it's happening. Right? That would be my assumption.
Who knows?
I do not know this. I don't have those calls. I had in the past, it happened. Someone called me. I was like, hey, I'm not comfortable with discussing this, regardless if I'm or not a voter. It's all your assumption thinking I'm the voter. I might not be. I might have never been. I think if the chair chooses you to be a voter, it's up to you to be professional enough to be like, yeah, I don't know. I'm not a voter. Please don't talk to me about this. Right? I mean, hopefully that's how it works.
Okay.
That's what we all hope for.
Okay, and do you think that the 50 Best has changed the behavior of bartenders more than actual quality of bars?
In what sense? Like how changed?
That's a question. How to if it was changed?
As like generally, the behavior.
Yeah.
Since there is a 50 Best.
Yes.
100%. I think. We are all here. We are right now in Slovakia in massive expo, which is organized essentially by one bar.
Yep.
Yes, they share this with another 2-3 bars within the town, to make sure they also support the local community. But it is still about, the one place, and this wouldn't be happening 10 years ago. You know, it's happening now because of 50 Best also.
That's true.
So 50 Best, it is a tough game, but it also really, really helped the community to come together worldwide, not just a one town and so on, like globally.
Yeah.
It's a good thing though, but yes, it changed everyone, I guess.
And it's not bad.
Not bad at all, Now we travel the world, it's like, it's crazy, like within 1 year, sometimes I do 20 countries. Right?
Yeah.
It's incredible. Like I couldn't even dream about it, 10 years ago. So, yeah, it's amazing.
Many bars today serve technically perfect drinks, but sometimes without soul. Is the bar world creativity tired or just afraid to admit it?
I think depend on the bar again. Like not every bar would be focusing on the experience. As I said, one of my favorite bars is so good in service, not in the hospitality. Right. So some bars are just the way they are. They are different from one another. That's what makes this industry also beautiful. But creativity, I mean, that's such a big word. I think creativity, I always say, it's a hard work more than anything else. Nothing comes out to anyone's brain like, oh, I have the drink, I have the vision for my bar. It's usually constant overthinking and lack of sleep and so on, just to get onto one drink maybe, or change something within your concept. So depends.
If you are brutally honest, how many signature cocktails in top bars will survive without the story and presentation?
Wow. Presentation, I mean, I think the whole bar world is moving towards the simplicity a lot when it comes to service of the cocktails. So I think without the whole presentation, if you just do a glass, ice, and the drink, it will still survive. Without the story, I mean, I think 70% of people who come into a bar, they do not care about the story of the drink. They just want to grab a great tasting cocktail,
a good drink,
in place which has good vibe. That's it, right? So, and again, the stories on the menus and the menus itself and so on is where we as a bartenders, jerk off our egos, is like, yes, I did a great job. It's something what gives to many bartenders the energy to go further, right? To some people don't have it. Like I have in my team people who are like, yeah, I'm cool. Like I don't need to have a cocktail on the menu. I just love to be here. I love to make great cocktails. I love to, set the mood and vibe and talk to the guest. And that's extremely important.
Okay, so in that case, how many do you need signature drinks if 70% of people don't care about it, as you said?
I said they don't care about the story, not necessarily a signature.
Yeah, but 70% of people just need a good drink.
Yeah.
But they don't care if it's signature or not.
Yeah, and many of the guests wouldn't even know if it's signature or not.
Yes,
right?
That's my question. If you need the signature drinks.
The bartenders need it probably more than the guests, but in the best possible way,
Yeah.
Like I love to make menus. I design our menus. I work with my team on all the cocktails. I love it. I enjoy it. It gives me the fire inside to do something else. And then you serve it to a guest. Even to those guys who like, oh, I don't want to hear, I don't want to know the story, just give me the drink. Then you see them, they drink it and say, oh, this is great. And they're like, yeah, job done. Like that's what we need to do, Like, yes, they enjoy the drink. The story is just for the small, group of people, but it's equally important because maybe it's only 5% or 10% of people who cares about the story. They're equally important as those 70, 80% of people who enjoy the drink only. Right? Because it has to be whole, right? It's an experience which needs to be cohesive through you enter to you leaving, right?
Yep.
So all those things have to be there. If they're paying attention to it, doesn't matter. You as a bartender, you're responsible for making it from first to the last step, 100%.
I understand. What do young bartenders most often overlook when they dream about Asia and global career? I mean, mentally, not technically.
Hard work. Hard work. I think really in Asia, like as I said when we started, like here I had better balance, work life. In Asia, I think it's really hardworking people there. So you need to be ready to like go there and just shut up and work. And even though later you will prove yourself, you're great, you will still be working very hard. Like doesn't matter what level you will be still working hard. And even harder, the higher level you get, you have to work even harder and harder and harder. My bosses in our hotel, working 14, 16 hours sometimes. I look at it as like, wow, not sure if it's great or not, tough. But like,
this is tough.
Just because you get somewhere doesn't mean it's, oh, now I'm chill. No need to, no. You will get new responsibilities and working harder and harder and harder. So I think many friends who came to Asia, not just Singapore, they came in and they were all shocked actually how much people work there. Yeah.
All right. And the final question, no escape. If you left the top bar scene tomorrow, would you miss it or would you actually feel revived?
It depends what you're referring to. If you're referring top being with the 50 best, and again, then I will go back to it that just because you're in 50 best doesn't mean you are really the best, because there is another 1,000 bars which should be in the list, but the list is only 100 bars. Not everyone can get there. I wouldn't be relieved. I don't think it would change anything on what I'm doing. I think I've been doing what I'm doing before 50 best. 50 best was there. I will be doing it after 50 best. Either will be there or they close down, whatever happen. I don't think it would change anything within what we're doing. And I hope my team would see the same thing, because that's what I'm trying to always tell them. We're doing it for the guests, for love of this industry, not just for one award or another award. It should be based on, we want to provide, it's a hospitality industry, right?
Yeah, nice.
So the end product is happy guest. That's what's the end product.
Thank you very much for the interview.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Adam Eddy Bursik has been a guest of VisitChef. Adam, thank you very much and take care.
Thank you.
That was another episode of the VisitChef magazine podcast, featuring a conversation with Adam Eddy Bursik, a Slovak bartender and beverage professional based in Singapore. You can find all episodes in our archive at visitchef.com/podcast, as well as on all major podcast apps. Feel free to contact us. We'd love to hear from you. We'll be back with a new episode soon, and we're already looking forward to having you with us again.